Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Reinvention Talk with me, Pastor Sammy PS, right here at the Synergy Center. Today, we want to have a moment of reflection from the book of Matthew, chapter number 28 and verse number 20. The very last part of it, Christ Jesus is committing and is saying that, you know what? I, I, I am with you always until the end of the age. I am with you always until the end of the age. That is very, very inspirational, especially when it comes from somebody whom you love, you admire, you cherish, and you build a relationship to the level of high dependability. Quite a number of times, we as Christians, one of our greatest prayer is that we may not find ourselves walking into what we call the panic mode. And certain times when we are walking under the sun as Christians, we are expecting not to face what the Athens or what any other person is going through, provided that we are Christians. But that's not the truth of the issue. Quite a number of times we find ourselves facing big hurricanes of life. We walk through the fire of life. We walk through the lonely valleys of life. And sometimes we are almost being swept by the tornadoes of life. Sometimes as Christians, we pass through fire. We find ourselves into the dens of lions, things that nobody would wish to find themselves or himself to. But the truth of the issue and the reality of the issue that when you are a Christian, remember those words of Jesus from time to time, that I am with you always. If you are facing the hurricanes of life, you need to remember those words, that you know what? Christ Jesus is with me. Sometimes you are there. You are a Christian. You've been praying for God to give you a child. Then suddenly, by the grace of God, you realize that you are expectant. Then all of a sudden, you suffer miscarriage. It is very painful. It is hurting. But remember that even in that situation, there's Christ who is seated, the right hand of Jehovah himself, and he's saying that I am with you always. Sometimes business is not working at all. You are trying this, you are trying that, not that you are lazy. Nothing is upcoming, nothing is forthcoming. Even in that condition, remember, Christ says that he is with you always. Sometimes you could be in a situation where you've lost a very close person. You've lost a son, you've lost a husband. Things are hurting, and it is like you find yourself into a lonely island of hopelessness. I want to encourage you, child of God, even in that situation, remember the final words of Christ Jesus. I am with you always. Could be you are a student, you just graduated the other time. You came out of campus with sights high, ready to launch deep into the job market. All the people that you are with have already secured job opportunities. They are working, they are excelling, they are flying. And there you are. You've sent your application and CVs almost everywhere. You're wondering what exactly is happening. You are hurting. I want to encourage you. Christ Jesus is saying that even in that condition, I am with you always. Could be you just found yourself into a financial off-peak. Things are not working. And it is like you found yourself into a state of incurring huge debts. You're wondering that when are you going to fix this mess? You've prayed. You're wondering when exactly is your prayers going to be answered. I want to encourage you, child of God. Even in that condition, Christ once again is saying, I am with you always. And that should be what we call the point of hope. When Christ says that he is with you, he is with you. When he's saying that he is with us always until the end of the age, then we must rest assured that Christ is with us. So, in whatever circumstance that you found yourself, child of God, in whichever lonely island that you found yourself in whichever kind of tornado that you find yourself facing, in whichever kind of hurricane that you find yourself facing, unlikely situation that you'd not wish to spend any other extra day, I want to assure you that there is God of heaven and there is Christ Jesus who is our advocate. And he has promised that in whichever circumstance, in whichever situation, he is with us always. David is confessing in the book of Psalms chapter number 34 that many are the afflictions of the righteous, but God delivers him from them all. So, in whichever situation that you found yourself, I want to believe there is God in heaven who is faithful, and he knows that he's going to empower us, he's going to come into our situation, he's going to zoom into our situation, and he's going to settle the matter and balance the book. Otherwise, may good God bless you. Be motivated, be inspired. May you psych up. Do not let loose go of what we call hope, because with hope you can move the mountain. Otherwise, may good God do you good. This is Pastor Sammy PS. I'm always praying for you. Remember, it is here at the Reinvention Talker where we say this is the place where hope, expectations, dreams are being reignited. Otherwise, may good God do you good. Shalom.